Hi guys.
Hi.
I'm Luke if you didn't hear.
And I'm Sato.
And we're so excited to be here to the Stage Chat podcast.
Super excited.
Yeah, we've been thinking about this all week. So we're going to be talking about theater and different experiences, everything about theater.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah, and we mean everything about theater. Today's episode is about our least favorite shows.
Oh, yes.
We're so excited to do this. Also, this is our first ever podcast, so, if we're not the best, give us some slack.
Oh my god, please don't.
Alright, so Sarah's going first. We're both going to talk about two of our least favorite shows we've been in. Some of them we're going to name the show names, and some of them we won't, though. And also, we're not going to name the names of the people that bothered us in the production, because that's just rude and, basically cyberbullying.
Yeah, we're gonna be using, code names for them.
Yeah, code names.
If you will.
Alright, so Sarah, you want to go first?
I will. So, there was this audition for Beauty and the Beast, the show. Yep, that's the show. And that was definitely my least favorite show that I've ever done, because I auditioned with this boy. We're gonna call him Joe. And this boy didn't want Lumiere, but I wanted Lumiere. But I auditioned with him. So I used the accent for Lumiere. And then he used that accent to get the role. How screwed up is that, Luke?
Oh my god, I remember that guy. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. Come on.
So messed up.
He just stole it from you?
Right out of my palm.
The person was a pretty good Lumiere, though, I'll admit.
He was a very good Lumiere, though.
But, the process he used to get it, that sounds pretty bad.
Very bad.
Yeah.
And it was so stressful to see him on stage and be like, yep, that's my work.
Oh my god. Yeah, but I remember him, everyone was, congratulating him for the accent. I didn't know you were the one that, created that.
Yep, that was me.
Wow. That must mean... So what else about the show was, annoying?
And just some cast members were genuinely just so perky, so excited about really nothing. They're everyone was oh, we're gonna dance on the tables. Oh, we're gonna do this. I don't care. Sorry, that was my weird laugh. It's okay.
But I remember that was actually my favorite show I've ever been in. So
It was?
Yeah, we are in the same one. Do you remember that?
Yes, but we
actually had a super funny mistake from that. We'll bring.
Oh my god.
We'll bring this up in the mistakes one, but we'll talk about it now too. So we were doing a fight scene. It was me, Sorrow, and then two other kids, and we were fighting on stage and stuff. And Sorrow had a bread prop, I remember.
Yeah, because I was the baker in Beauty and the Beast, and it was a fight scene. You were the carpet, right?
No, I wasn't. I was the wall.
Oh. That makes it much better.
Oh my god, the wall. That's embarrassing to say.
And it's it was this scene where you guys were caving me in.
So you were with another girl and you were swinging your prop. We weren't actually said to hit each other. I don't think. I
was just 2 inches away from your face. I was stopping, but it was this big long French breadstick, and at the worst time possible, it drops and cracks in half.
Wait, it dropped? I thought it cracked when it hit me.
It didn't hit you, it dropped.
Oh my. So yeah, it dropped on stage, and then all four of us, we were just standing there what do we do now?
No. Then we all left. You told me to just leave it there, and I was I'm not gonna leave it there. Someone's gonna step on it. So I ran, I got it. 4 other people were coming on stage. I ran, I fell into people. And that was my most humiliating moment on stage.
Oh my god, I still think that moment was super funny though, because I remember that was so awkward, because I remember just walking off and we were looking back, being what the hell just happened?
And then there was some one kid, I'm not gonna say her name. She was just watching the whole thing. She was she didn't even play the role. She was just standing there, minding her own business.
Was that your scene partner?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and also, guys, we want to make something clear. We mean no disrespect to the people we mention. None of the people we mention are legitimately bad people or anything.
It's just our opinions on them.
Yeah, it's just and even some of the ones I'm gonna mention, I'm perfectly fine with now. So, like, just note, even though we had bad experiences, like,
We've moved on.
yeah, it's just we like to talk about them because they get really funny stories.
So funny.
So yeah, that was, sorry to ramble on, but we thought you'd like that.
Yeah, and also, I didn't know that was your favorite show.
Really?
No,
That was,
I
yeah,
didn't.
I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that in like the best shows episode. But yeah, so why else didn't you like it?
Well, okay. Now that I'm thinking of it, there's two of the shows that were my least favorite. There's like both on the rock bottom. They're not like really that bad, but this one was just because of that reason of the whole like stealing my flaws and stealing my shot of winning that character.
Yeah, I can imagine that must stink. Like, if I had to deal with, I've had to deal with bad auditions before, but like if someone stole my thing, gave me no credit, and got a claim for it, I'd be mad too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't blame you for that one.
And we're gonna say again, we've moved on.
Yeah, I don't we don't eat ice cream when thinking about these, like, we're not super, like, depressed, so don't, no disrespect to Beauty and the Beast or any of the people we're talking about.
Because it's a phenomenal show.
Yeah, and it was my favorite.
Yeah.
All right.
Luke, you have a stage.
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm so ready to talk about this. So this is pretty infamous.
I'm kind of scared.
Sarah was in this with me too. So this was infamous for being like a bad show on my part. Most people know I didn't like it, but I actually so basically the auditions were fine and everything, but I'm pretty sure I was the only one who auditioned for a character and didn't get it, and that happened in another show too.
Oh my god, I think I know which one you're talking about.
So I'm not gonna name the name, because I don't want to disrespect the people in it because most of them love it. But Sarah, you probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right. So first, the person I worked with. Okay, so I was cast as a lead in that show, and I liked my role a lot. It was the second role I wanted, but I got cast as someone who I generally wasn't on good terms on, and this was pretty bad because I had to play their love interest. So I remember we barely had any chemistry.
Oh my god, I remember her.
Yeah, I remember we had like no chemistry working together on stage. And once again, no disrespect to this person, but like she was just kind of mean in general. And also like I remember she pushed me on the stage while we were during like the final show when we were about to bow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. So yeah, that wasn't. And this person, I don't have problems with this person now. But like back then, like I really wasn't having fun.
Yeah.
And also, so what else? So this kind of relates to it, but like a lot of people in the cast, it wasn't bullying, but a lot of them would just be kind of mean in general. Like, some of them would, like, do things that they knew would annoy me. And often, like, there were some other people that would also be kind of rude, too.
Yeah, there's many people who try to do that.
Yeah, and I was just, and, like, I pretended I wasn't bothered by it, but I was, and I just didn't talk about it because I didn't think it was a big deal. But, like, also, now that I noticed, it probably was a big deal, and I probably should have said something about it.
You know, that, and also, it just really, really, really bothered me how our directors that we had so much like close bonds with, they favored the people who have been there the longest.
Yeah, that biased theater tends to happen a lot, but that's something for another day.
Yeah.
And the last thing is that, so this was actually a new type of theater I was working in. So what I did was I ended up not liking this type of theater. But basically it was different from what I usually did, and I didn't like because the audience was kind of close, and that's something I didn't have experience with. It's not something crazy, but it's still there. And I don't think I ever did that type of show again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. So, do you want to take a break and we'll be back soon?
Yeah.
Yep. See you then.
Bye. And we're back to Stage Podcast.
Yeah, alright, so we hope you liked part 1. Now
Things left off really spicy, so we're gonna settle that down a little bit and continue our conversation.
Yeah, but we still have more shows to talk about.
Many more shows to talk about.
All right, so we both have one more bad show, and then we might just interview someone.
Yes, a special guest.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go again, and fully not like I'm not dissing anyone. I am not like making fun of anyone. Just I didn't think that this show was very alarming and enthusiastic. Not enthusiastic. What am I saying? Just not really fun for me, and it was Annie Jr.
I remember that.
This show was a show that it was my first show ever in this theater. So I was cast as a smaller role, like an extra, because I was very small. It was my first show. And, it was just such a toxic environment, that show, because these people were just going crazy on stage. Like, all of these kids, like the people who were playing the main cast, they were not prepared at all for this show. Only some of the people were.
I remember that.
It was like kids screaming backstage. Well, I can't say anything about that because me and Luke know very well. We're kind of crazy backstage.
Yeah, we all are.
It's so bad how they were acting. You can agree, Luke.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't really a good environment.
Yeah, and also, some of the actors, they were so kind to us, and some of them were like really, really bad.
Yeah, some of them, I remember, some of them just like acted like they were the cool kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Personally, this was long ago for me, so I don't remember. This was long ago for the both of us, so I don't really.
Yes, this was 2016.
Yeah, so I don't remember that much about this, but I remember. No offense to the main roles and cast and stuff, but they were not prepared.
Not prepared at all. There was some girl who was on the floor in the cast photo.
Oh my god.
Like, and her head was covered behind someone, so like this girl was just laying like dropped dead on the floor.
And also, if you know what company we're talking about, I know we've said stuff like this, but no disrespect to them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, this is mine. All right.
Oh God, I'm scared.
So this was actually at a different theater than I usually was, but it still wasn't that great nevertheless. The show, I'm not gonna name it, but it wasn't really a well put together show. So for one thing, the casting was pretty awful. So there was probably about 1 or 2 actors that were good, but the other actors just acted like they were not interested in the show. Like, seriously, it almost seemed like those parents that just forced their kids to be in musicals. It seemed like that was the entire cast.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, and I was so annoyed. And I was a young kid. I was a young kid when we did this. Well, I still am a pretty young kid, but like I was younger at the time. And I got an extra role like everyone does. But I was just annoyed because like the main actors, they did not seem to care about what they were doing. Some of the actors, they had like laughing syndrome on stage where like they couldn't stop laughing when doing their part.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, we both had to deal with that, and that's I hate that.
And also we've had to deal with not getting out of our comfort zone, like, because we all thought that, like, we sometimes, now that we're all mature and that we're all grown, we are like, okay, this is how I act, this is how I will do the show, this is how I will act from now on. But in those earlier days, we didn't know how people were going to think of us.
Yeah. So we sort of just like stayed in our bubble.
Yeah, and now we're out, and like this theater now is such a better environment.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the theater you think I'm talking about.
Oh yes, I know, you're talking about another place.
Okay, so next up, the show was very unprofessional. So basically, like, it's kind of just what I told you before, like, bad casting, but also, we literally drew the sets. Like, they couldn't even afford real sets. We drew them with markers. And the stage, it was a horrible stage place. Like, they they didn't even have seats. They had like fold up chairs.
Ew.
Like that does not work for an audience. And also when we weren't acting, we didn't even have a backstage to go to. Like we were sort of just we're sort of just like waiting on the sides. And
That's terrible.
yeah, it was so annoying. Like I remember I was at a more professional theater before this. And then when I came to this one, I was just like so annoyed.
And full disclaimer, this theater that we are going to now, of course because of the coronavirus we can't go right now, but that we're currently acting at, it's by far like the best theater I've ever been to.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So despite some bad things we've experienced, it's like a wonderful place.
Wonderful environment. It's not toxic at all. And
most of the time.
Yeah, it's not toxic most of the time, but there's so many people who love each other and we're all just a big family. So thank you to this theater and that we can have this podcast and that we could talk about our acting experiences.
Yeah, sorry, we don't want to get sappy or go on a rant too much, but yeah, that's it. Alright, next up, this was probably the biggest problem of why I didn't like the show, but I did not connect with any of the cast.
That's terrible.
So for one thing, most of the boys, they were the stereotypical, oh, I'm too cool to meet you boys. And it seemed like they were all like the cool kids, and I was young at the time, so I was just kind of in the corner for most of the rehearsals.
God.
And the girls, like at that time, like you think, oh, girls are dumb and that stuff. So like I was really young at this time. But yeah, I really couldn't connect with anyone there. And it wasn't fun to work with. And here's an example. So one thing is the director told us like if you know the lines to the show, mouth them in rehearsals because it can help the people on stage. So that's what I did one time. So then I did that for like most of the show, and then like halfway through the lead saw me and she was like, I know you don't have to mouth it. For one thing. And then everyone started laughing at me, even the damn directors. And I was super embarrassed, and like she didn't stand up for me or anything. Not even the directors, and they were like older people too. And it was sorry, I just get mad talking about this.
We all do.
And it just it made me really mad to be working here, and I'm really glad I never went back. But yeah. And it's probably better now. I've considered trying it again, but this place, although
something else.
Yeah, it was something else. Yeah, fair to say, I never went back there.
Yeah. Guys, that is about our time for the day. We hope you guys liked episode 1 of Stay Chat Podcast.
Yeah, that was so fun to talk about, and we're definitely going to be coming for episode 2. So if you like that, make sure to come back. And yeah, so that's all we have to say. So see you guys next time. Adios. Bye. See you soon. If you have any questions, feel free to send them to stagechatpodcast@gmail.com. We may just answer it in the next podcast. The song in this podcast is Phosophenes by Idealism.